Welcome back everyone, Mariah here, and in today's video we're going to be going over the price of Bitcoin. It's been a minute, but I am anticipating a big move in Bitcoin. I know I don't make videos frequently, it's just a matter of time and also just being in the mood to entertain, I guess, is one way to put it. And so every once in a while, I'll put out some predictions with my friends that, also trade and are keeping an eye on the price of Bitcoin. And so on June 17th, my prediction was, I think Bitcoin is about to go bananas in the next 30 days. So that happened. June 17th was right over here. And the reason why I said that was a few reasons, okay? I thought that we kept on seeing a lot of support off of this moving average, along with this support level of about 102,894, like right in that range there. But then something happened a few days later. Obviously, we had all the war information that came out. And this candle right here on Saturday, June 21st, I said, but first, 98.5. I said 98.5. Why? Because as soon as Bitcoin broke this support level right here and closed below, if we're breaking 102 and we're closing below 102 on the daily, we're going to 98.5. And so I said, we're going to 98.5. And we went ahead and saw 98,225. So I was pretty happy with that prediction there. And then obviously we've seen a big jump here on Bitcoin. What I did a couple of days ago was I went ahead and drew this trend line that you see here. I drew it like 3 days ago, right when it was touching in this range. I kind of saw those two tops here, the top that came in May and then in like mid-June, and then I was seeing some resistance. I went ahead and drew a line there and I was like, okay, so this is what we're looking for. We're looking for a few things. We want to see I was anticipating for Bitcoin, there's a possibility that we come back again and touch 102 to 103, right in that range. So that is like one scenario, right? And the next scenario is we are looking for a break and hold above this particular trend line. So you kind of want to look at it on different time frames, right? So we can already see here on the hourly, it has broken and hold above the particular trend line. It broke and hold, a couple of hours ago, and then we saw another candle above it. We could easily see for it to pull back and retest that trend line. So once you see it on the 1 hour, you're like, okay, listen, my guard is up. I am looking to look for an entry point, because for me, the break and holds above these descending trend lines are pretty great entry points if you go back and look at the previous price action on Bitcoin. So 4 hour here, we obviously on the last 4 hour, we saw a break and hold above. I don't really like to enter particularly on these candles where the candle isn't completely above the trend line. You can see here that it's basically part of the candle that has that is held above the trend line. And so I like this candle, entering on this candle is a pretty good option. But you are looking for the higher time frames, the more confirmation that it's pretty much giving you. So I'm going to be keeping a close eye here on the daily. But like I said, what I'm kind of anticipating is a couple things. Let's go back to the daily here. So we're probably going to see this is what you have to do. You have to look at your points of support and resistance, right? So typically all of these lines that you can see that I've drawn here are based off of support and resistance. So, sometimes resistance then turns into support, and that's kind of what we saw here, right? So I drew this line here because it was resistance, and then as you can see, it turned into support. So the next area where we're probably gonna see resistance is right up here, right? You can see that Bitcoin tried to break 3 days consecutively above that. It didn't really go so well. So I'm going to go ahead and draw a horizontal line right about here. And that's where I'm anticipating some resistance right at about 110,300, 400, right in that range. And so after that, then we're going to be challenging the previous all-time high, was right about up here at about 112 or so. So those are basically what I'm keeping an eye on. Okay, so once we go above the previous all-time high, then we're in price discovery mode. The only real good way to kind of make predictions on the price of Bitcoin when we're in price discovery is to use Fibonacci levels. So let me go ahead and zoom out here for you. So all these different colors over here, this is basically a Fibonacci retracement. Okay, so you can see here that you basically take a swing high and a swing low, and that's what forms your Fibonacci level. So you can see this dotted line here. So I went ahead and put here that swing high, which was 74, and then we have the pullback. You can kind of adjust this in two ways. So you can, let me go ahead and zoom in here so it's a little bit easier for you guys to see. So for example, I put the swing low of the ultimate swing low, but that was a wick. If you wanted to, you can kind of adjust this to be like to touch more points. So if I adjust it to how I just did, I brought it up a little bit. I didn't take into consideration this wick down, but I put these 3 touch points. I think that's a bit of a stronger Fibonacci. So let me go ahead and extend this out. A lot of time has passed, you know, like when it comes to Bitcoin, I would say that I anticipated us to be like in the 140s at this point. So things are just taking a little bit longer than expected, you know, like I expected coming down here to 74. I thought it was just going to happen a lot faster than it actually did. So let's see here. So as you could see, right, like the Fibonacci levels played out previously back over here in December and January when Bitcoin hit in that 107 range, the 2.618 Fibonacci level. So the next point that we're looking for is going to be right over here at about 127, 128, and then after that is about 140. So those are kind of like the 2 key levels that we are looking for once Bitcoin is breaking into new all-time high categories. You know, it's really interesting. I feel like Ethereum, dog shit performance. I told myself months ago to sell off my Ethereum and buy into Bitcoin, which is something I should probably still consider doing. But Ethereum at $2,500. I mean, Bitcoin is testing its all-time highs. Ethereum's previous all-time high, it's like 50% down from its previous all-time high. Absolutely insane. So, I mean, like, yeah, you can look at today and be like, oh, you know, Bitcoin's up 3.5%. Altcoins are up 5, 10, 15%. But that's because they have been underperforming Bitcoin for an extended period of time. Like, none of these coins, okay, like Litecoin, Filecoin, DOT, I don't really, in this cycle, I do not see them reaching their previous all-time high. Like Link. Let's take a look here at Link. Oh my gosh. So bad. So bad. Let's go ahead and zoom out to the 7-day chart. So Link sitting at $13 with an all-time high of over 50. Brutal. These altcoins just never recover like Bitcoin does, and they oftentimes underperform Bitcoin. Let's go ahead and take, I'm gonna go ahead here and kind of talk about Bitcoin without speaking on the trend lines here, and mostly just taking into consideration candle action, higher highs, higher lows, all that stuff. So yeah, daily looking strong, 12-hour looking good as well. Like, we have a clear trend change. Like, look at this 12-hour, right? We have made a higher low. We have made a higher high on this last swing here. In my opinion, Bitcoin is about to go. It's about to go hard in the paint. Let's take a look here at Ethereum. I honestly can't say I look at Ethereum all that much. I just am not really interested. Different price action here on Ethereum. This is a daily chart. It's looking okay, but in my opinion, like, the Bitcoin chart is looking quite a bit stronger than the Ethereum chart. Like I've said in the past, oftentimes Ethereum leads the way, and you can kind of sometimes gather information from price action on Ethereum to make better decisions on Bitcoin. If you've been here for a long time, I showed this like pretty amazing strategy here. So this is, you want to focus on the right hand side of my screen. You see these thick moving averages, this green one and this red one? It's been a long time. I think one of them is like a 7 and one is like a 13. shoot. I don't look at this quite as much. Oh yeah. So the red one's gonna be a 12. The green one is a 5, a 12 and a 5. So if you look back at the history of Bitcoin, if you basically like got in anytime the green was crossing over the red, and you waited to get out when the green was crossing below the red, you wouldn't be catching the top, and you wouldn't be catching the bottom, and you wouldn't even have to make that many trades in a single calendar year. But you would consistently have pretty nice gains over time. As we can see here, there is no green crossing below the red anytime soon. I don't know, man. Bullish, bullish, bullish. So that was on June 17th. I said Bitcoin about to go nuts in the next 30 days. We are definitely within that time frame. So, you know, there is, I think, a promotion. There's a promotion going on Coinbase right now. If you buy like 3 different coins that are not yet in your portfolio, and you buy at least $10 worth of each, then they'll actually match Bitcoin with that. So they'll give you $10 of Bitcoin. I did that the other day. I thought that was like a pretty nice little promo there. So I'll go ahead and put my Coinbase link down below. If you've been in crypto for a while, you definitely you've had a Coinbase account for I'm sure ever, but if you want to do that, that's a little option right there. So I'll go ahead and put that link down below. That's pretty much all I have today here on the price of Bitcoin. I'm anticipating my bags are loaded. My bags have been loaded. I personally I didn't really have a ton of cash left on the sidelines to grab this 98.5 opportunity. I was buying more over here. So I bought on this dip, and I didn't really have much dry powder left to go ahead and catch this dip. But I was telling people around me, it's time to buy. It's time to buy. So at least I was able to spread the word of like, pack your bags now, and assist some people around me. So that's all that I have for you today on the price of Bitcoin. I hope you are well. As always, go out there and create a portfolio that you love.